Hey guys, greetings on my very last morning in Bali. I can't believe it's been 2 months that I've been here in Bali now, and today is the day that I start a very long journey home. I'm doing a stopover to see my family for about, I think, 11 days, and then I'll be back at my home where I live in Guatemala. And oh, I was just watching the video from Karuna about they got the hot water going for the hot tub, and it's like, oh, so many. I feel like one of the best reasons to travel is so that we can come home and really enjoy where we are, like the people around us, like what makes home so sweet. So, as in a lot of ways, I am kind of a professional traveler. That sounds weird, but I wrote my book about how to travel leaving America with Erica, how to travel and set yourself free. I make these travel videos. And a lot of times people watching, good morning everyone, hi Bobby, hello Ed. A lot of times people watching, they think I'm lucky, they think I'm, brave. I prefer the brave, but a lot of people think that I'm doing something that other people can't do, traveling alone as a woman. So I wanted to just speak to that. Someone was asking me, do you ever get scared when you're traveling? And the answer is yes, absolutely. In fact, last night, so the night before you travel, the night before you do the big thing is always, I think always like the hardest one. Because I think the big challenge about traveling is like stepping into the unknown where there are like all these things you can't control, right? And I have luggage, and then the more like attachments you have, like the harder it is. So it's like, okay, now I'm attached to my luggage and, these beautiful dresses I got here in Bali, my new drum, my little things I'm bringing home for the people who come to the meet and greet. I have all these like gifts for people, right? So there's all these, so the attachments are one thing, right? Because if we weren't worried, if we were like, whatever, like that would lift a whole other level of stress off our minds. But because we're attached to our possessions, we're attached to our plans, we're attached to things going a certain way, when those attachments are threatened, right? That's when, or even not even in the real world, but like in our mind, we like that, and that I think is the hardest part about traveling or life in general, is that the mind can be the biggest obstacle when it comes to traveling or living. The mind will generate all of these ideas and these scenarios about what can go wrong and where things will get hung up. And you know what I mean? Has your mind ever generated an idea of something that could go wrong, but it actually did, like nothing's happened? Like you're just sitting here alone in a room, like nothing's happened, like, right? So Yoli, that's funny, you got pickpocketed by ladyboys on my first night in Bali, drank less after that. So do I ever feel unsafe, or do I ever feel scared while I'm traveling? Yes, absolutely, especially like the night before I'm about to do like the big push, So I got, I have a really long, 12-hour layover in Taipei, which is in Taiwan. And so I got a hotel last night, but then it's like, oh no, will they let me out with the COVID restrictions? And I blah, 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 like, oh God, is this gonna work? And it's like, okay, well, hi Tiffany, hi honey, I love you. Tiffany, can you believe it? I am now starting my journey back. So I think as it goes with travel and as it goes with life in general, I think the thing is just like, I commit to just handling the thing that's in front of me. So the next thing that's in front of me is just finishing packing up my room, throwing the things in the bag. But what if I have too much stuff okay, well then I'm gonna handle that at the time that becomes relevant, that becomes I will cross that bridge when I get there, right? I can't cross any bridges that I'm not on yet, and if I try to do that in my mind, I'll go a little crazy. So yeah, and then someone made a comment, they got pickpocketed by ladyboys that drank less after that. I think another great important thing about when you're traveling is like really staying mentally alert. That's a really great benefit of not drinking alcohol. So you guys know I don't drink alcohol. And that's one way that I stay clear-minded and able to recognize situations. And again, talking about handling the next thing that's in front of me, like I'm in a much better position to respond appropriately to whatever situation is facing me in life if my mind is clear, if my eyes are clear, if I'm in a clear state of thinking. If my mind is all muddled from alcohol or smoking weed, I'm much less able to respond, right? So I think sobriety really helps. And then what was the other thing? The other thing that's really important, I think, that people need to understand about traveling is like the power of like your intuition, like the power of like recognizing like when something doesn't feel good, and then also the ability to like speak up for yourself. A small example, I'm the guy who owns the Airbnb is giving me a ride to the airport, and so I'm negotiating. So there's like the cost for the motorbike rental and the cost for the ride to the airport, and because I rented the motorbike for 10 days, there's a daily rate, and I asked, hey, can I have a weekly rate, right? So it's there are big ways that we can stand up for ourselves, be like, no, that's not okay, no. I'll tell you a story. Once upon a time, I was traveling to Africa. This was when I was much younger, and I had much less experience, and I was not practiced in the art of standing up for myself. And I was in Dakar, I was in Senegal. I had a layover one night. I was going to visit my father, who was posted in Abidjan at the time. And I flew into Dakar. It was night, and coming out of the airport, I was like, and like I remember just going into this like swarm of like taxi, and this man was like, I have a taxi, come. And I don't know, I was like, oh, okay, and I just kind of like followed him, and like we like left all like it sounds so sketchy, but at the time like we left like the main taxi area and we started walking towards the regular parking lot, and I'm like, what? No, where's the taxi? Where's the taxi? Like, and so finally I was like, I was able to say, no, this doesn't feel right. I'm not going to go with this man in an unmarked car. Like, no, like I'm glad I was able to stand up for myself in that moment. So he's like, I don't know, he was kind of like a talker. He was like a sweet talker, and I was confused, and that is the challenging part when you're tired and confused. People are much able to take advantage of you. So anyway, so I did stand up for myself, and I said, no, I want a taxi. I want like a regular taxi, a marked taxi. So he's like, okay, come this way. And so we grab a taxi, and with like a regular taxi driver, and this guy gets in the front seat. And I'm like, okay, this is a little weird. And he starts talking to the taxi driver, and they start like, it seemed like they were arguing. But then it was like, fine, the guy's like, okay, tell me where your hotel is. And then he quoted me some crazy price, like $100 for the ride. And I saw like there was something not right. Something didn't feel right. I could feel it in my gut. I could feel it like, but again, this guy was like kind of a talker, and so it kind of smoothed over, and we're going. I'm just happy to get out of there. I'm just trying to get to the hotel. Like I'm overwhelmed with all the things, and like just get me out of here. And then it was like an incredibly expensive taxi ride, and I didn't have the money, so he took me to an ATM. There was the ATM. Like, oh, okay, fine. I like pulled out the money from the ATM, and then got to the finally got, and like the whole time there was like a weird energy between him and the taxi driver. And the taxi driver, it was like there was just something weird going on, but I didn't know any better. And at this point I was afraid to like rock the boat. Looking back, it's like obviously. But then I got to the hotel, paid the guy. Weird situation, went away, and I like checked in. At this point, I'm just like, And then it turns out I told the reception, because I was upset, and I told them kind of what just happened, and they're like, yeah, that taxi ride should cost like $5, and I was scammed for like $100 for that taxi ride because I was vulnerable, because I was scared, because I wasn't standing up for myself, because I knew something felt wrong. Thank God I didn't get into the unmarked car. Jeez Louise. And I insisted on the taxi, but still, I should have just kicked that guy out. Like, no, you're not a taxi driver. Get out of here. Like, go, shoot, and just, right? So these are lessons I learned the hard way, but it's a good illustration of one way we keep ourselves safe is by listening to our gut, listening to that gut feeling, and then being willing to stand up and be like, no, go, no more, goodbye, leave, right? Like, no, instead of trying to be nice to everybody all the time, like, oh, I don't want to like offend somebody, I don't want to like make anyone upset with me, right? It's kind of like, a lot of times I think that's one of the challenges of traveling as a woman is our tendency to want to not bother others, not want to upset others, not want to make someone mad at us. So we'll go along and we'll endure things that actually make us uncomfortable, but we're afraid of speaking up, which is why I say one of the best ways we can keep ourselves safe traveling as a woman and just living our life is that willingness to listen to our gut and speak up. Say no to somebody. Insist on something that makes you feel more comfortable, right? You don't have to go along with like, don't get into the unmarked car. Don't pull over at the ATM. Like it's a symbol and a metaphor for a lot of different things. So anyway, so do I get scared while traveling? Yeah, for sure. And I think it's really just comes down to my own control issues. Like last night, laying in bed, thinking about, oh no, what if I can't get out of the airport in Taipei? What if I get hung up? It's okay, well then I won't leave the airport in Taipei and I'll sleep on the floor. I'll stay in the airport for 12 hours. Okay. But I did get a hotel room, so if I can get out, I have a hotel room right next to the airport where I can rest and then come back to the hotel. Can I get to that hotel room? We'll see. Am I going to accept what happens as it happens? Yes. Am I going to do my best as I go? Yes. Am I going to handle each situation as it's presented to me? Yes. Am I going to speak up for myself and do things in the ways that make me feel comfortable? Yes. Am I going to continue on a path that doesn't make me feel comfortable? Nope. I'm fine. Quite all right. So anyways, so it's not easy traveling, but it's worth it. We grow, we expand, we have wonderful experiences that we'll cherish for the rest of our lives. We come back home with greater gratitude and appreciation for the people, the places, the things that make our lives what they are, So it's challenging. Yeah, for sure there are challenges, and I get challenged and I get scared all the time. Am I scared of snakes? Yes, I'm scared of the snakes I can't see. But I'm not as scared of a snake that I can see, and I can see what it's doing, and I can, okay, cool, fine, cool, I respect you, we have distance, like, great. Sounds great. It sounds great snake with Gigi the other night coming back from the beach, this long green snake it was. And of course Gigi, she like picks up a stick and starts trying to like pick up the snake and then like tosses it and it lands right in front of me. I'm like, what are you doing? Why are you? I enjoyed watching the snake as it was slithering away and now you've thrown it and it's coiled up and Okay. That was cool. So exactly, Lucy King, we get the best education out in the world for sure. So my flight, my plane ride. So Cheryl, I am flying at 4 p.m. from Bali to Taipei, Taiwan, and that's about a 5-hour flight. I get in at about 9:45. I got my hotel, my airport like a mile away from the hotel. It's like backpacker hostel. We'll see if I can get there or not. There are no COVID testing requirements to get into Taipei, so I don't have to figure that out now. That's one thing important to know is different countries will have different requirements to get in. So I think I can just get out of the airport, go to the hotel, rest for a few hours, come back in the morning for my flight at like 9:30 a.m. and then I fly from Taipei to San Francisco. Tanya, that's funny. I go from Taipei to San Francisco, and then I have like a 2-hour layover in San Francisco, and then I fly from San Francisco to Newark, New Jersey. Unfortunately, my sister's not able to pick me up. My sister's not able to pick me up at the airport, so I'm gonna have to get like an Uber. Although Sue, I wonder if Sue would pick me up. So it's a big, there are many steps where things could go wrong. There are many places where, things could not work out. And this is the stage where I practice flexing my trust and just breathing and what's the point of all the practice if we can't put it into practice when we need it? Like when we're feeling stressed or anxious about the future. And like, I mean, this is all about, how I relate to the future. I can worry about all the things that could go wrong, or I can just stay centered. I did a really great yoga practice this morning for about an hour, and I felt a lot more grounded after that, Oh, Lynn, that's good to know. I don't think I'll have enough time, but yeah, so Vicky, I give myself the option. So I have the hotel room. If it works out, great. If it doesn't, okay. I'm kind of gambling. Like it's a gamble, right? Because I would prefer not to have to sleep awkwardly and uncomfortably on the floor in the airport, like for 12 hours. Like I would rather a bed and a shower, Yes, Austin, that is true. Yeah. Michelle, what day am I flying to Newark? I'm flying on, I'll be there on the 3rd. I'll be there on the 3rd, so it's in the afternoon. Actually, hold please, let me tell you exactly when I'm arriving. Okay, I get in at Newark on 5 p.m. on Monday, which is, I know, kind of like an inconvenient time to be driving. So, Michelle, if you feel like picking me up, or if Sue wants to pick me up, or if anyone of my local friends wants to pick me up, that would be amazing, because otherwise I have to pay like $100 for an Uber, because taking these big bags on the train is going to be really, really challenging. And I know that my body is already going to be really taxed from this journey, because I won't have rested well, even if I do get this hotel room in Taipei. Yeah, the sunburn, Andrea, what's amazing is I did the vinegar that you guys suggested, and I feel like this is my best response to a sunburn of my life. Like, it's been great. So yeah, I get in Newark on Monday at 5 p.m. and then I make my way to my sister's house in Hamilton, New Jersey. And then on Sunday, the following week, Sunday, October 9th, we're having a meet and greet. So if anyone wants to come out, oh, thank you, Susan, and thank you, Foss. Gloria, I'm coming into Newark on Monday at 5 p.m. So if someone wants to give me a ride, that would be great, because then that could save me like $75-100 on an Uber, which I'd obviously rather not have to pay. I mean, that is the thing. That is the thing about traveling, is like all of these extra expenses just like pop. So, but I'm breathing with it, and I'm trusting that everything is working out, which is the whole point. So anyways, it is 8:41 a.m. right now. I have to, Erica, yeah. No, Erica, I'm on my way back to Guatemala. I've just spent 2 months in Bali. I'm on my way back to Guatemala with a stopover in New Jersey to see my family. But we're building the house, we're building the foundation. When I get back, yeah, Lucy, oh, you just spent 12 long hours in the airport. I mean, I'm still exhausted. Yeah, exactly. It's not fun. And that's the thing about traveling, is like, it is exhausting. So I think one of the best things I've learned is to build in these places where, yes, getting like a hotel room near the airport is, yes, it's an extra expense, but it helps so much. It helps so much, right? So I think when I was a kid, when I was younger, I would have not done that. But now that I'm, getting a little older, learning to treat myself better, I look for ways to give myself these little boosts along the way, because it's yeah. What? Mark, you're flying over from Ireland for the meet and greet? No shit. Really? That's amazing. Well, I'll save you a special shell from the beach. Okay. All right, guys. Oh, Gloria, I'm sorry to hear you'll be in dialysis. That's challenging. I'm sorry you're going through that. Yeah, you focus on what you got to do there. All right, guys. I got just a few things to finish packing up, but let me show you. I got this bag. I got this bag. I got this bag. So I just have a few things I need to just pack up. A few last things, toiletries. I'm gonna take my yoga mat, and I hate to do it, but I'm gonna part with my apple cider vinegar. The rest is gonna go to Gigi's. Yeah. Oh, Lucy King's. Yeah, you're so glad to be home. Well, I bet. It's no place like home. So yeah, do I get scared while traveling? Yes, I get scared. I get anxious, I worry about all the things I can't control, and then I do my grounding. I choose to believe that I can handle each step as it comes. I believe in myself to be able to cross that bridge when I get there. I will use my words to speak up when something makes me uncomfortable. I will not get into an unmarked car or anything else that doesn't feel right and doesn't feel safe. You know, I will do what I can. Any requests for any New England food items you miss? Oh, Dawn, what a question. I feel like I'm supposed to say lobster, but no. Yeah, and everything's gonna be okay. So travel is like a really great sort of exercise for just like dealing with life and the future and anxiety about the future. It's like, okay, do what you can. Yesterday, I went out, I prepared in advance, I got a bunch of snacks. These are a bunch of like dates and like energy balls. I got some balls in advance, you know. Yeah, so can I do it? Yes. Can you do it? Yes. Will you need to make certain concessions? Yes. Like, Pam, you went to Italy and you said you used a walking stick to support you and your knees. Great, you know, like, yes, you can do it. If you want to, if you set your heart and your mind to it, if you go slowly, if you make some sacrifices, save up some money, face your fears, breathe gently, you can do it. Janice, yes, this is the third meet and greet. And Holly, no, those are not monkey balls. Thankfully, I left the monkey balls behind. Sanders, do I like Guatemala? No, I love Guatemala. Linda, the puppies are waiting. Yeah, the puppies are waiting. I'm going to go check in on the pups. Now they're not puppies anymore. They're like teenagers now. So yeah. So anyways, I'm gonna get going, just finish do the rest of packing. I pack up my little altar here, gotta pack up my Ganesha. Look at all of my shells and stuff from the beach I've been collecting. I got some cool volcanic rocks. These are so light. So I'm gonna pack this up and yeah, get going. All right, guys, I'm handling the next thing. That's all we can handle. Just handle the next thing in your path. Don't worry about the future things. Don't worry about the bridges ahead. Just mindfully place your feet upon the bridge you are crossing now. Hi, Robin. All right, guys. I love you. Have a beautiful day. Have a beautiful evening. And I will see you again. I'll probably make some more videos along the way in the airport and, you know, all the things. So I love you guys so much. Thank you for being with me. I hope you've enjoyed this journey to Bali. I've so enjoyed making this content for you and bringing this experience to you and all of the lessons and all of the stuff, you know. So, yeah, hey, Michelle. Yeah, see you soon. I'll see you soon. Okay, bye, guys.